And so I'm putting your ass on notice because what you're not going to do, let's be very clear, is you're not going to play with my husband's name. Don't with my family.
Cheating rumors, of course, make their way into Housewives storylines all the time. And I just got to commend you and Eddie because I've never seen a cheating scandal make its way onto a Real Housewives franchise so quickly. And then, move on. You guys moved on from it so fast. What were the conversations like off camera, how you were going to approach this? How did you eventually just move on?
Yeah. So, first of all, thank you so much. But I think that that's also a testament to our relationship and who we are. And it's a testament to the lack of authenticity of the rumors. When something is not true and your truth, it really doesn't impact you. My response to the women and my emotion to the women was, don't try to tarnish his reputation. That's all it was rooted in. And what you guys can see is I never once spoke to the legitimacy of it. I never was like, oh, that's not true. I know it's not true. That's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is don't play with my husband's name. And I said that very clearly. And for Eddie and I, we've been married for 10 years. We are just really open and we always talk about everything. And so when I told him what was said, he was just more so like, I'm sorry that someone who you thought was a friend did this to you. That was the conversations in our house. The conversation in our house was like, wow, like these blogs, they write about us and that's their job. I'm not mad. Get your money how you get it. I'm not upset about it. But by all means, for your friend to bring up something that she even said out of her own mouth that she knows is not true, but she did it not, and this is the tricky part. If she did it and said, hey, all husbands are fair game, let's have at it, I would have respected that. But she did it and she said, I'm saying this because I care about you. You see, that's the difference. And so our conversation was just more so, let's reevaluate like who you consider your friend, because these people are clearly not your friends. So that's what it was.
What do you think her true motive was in bringing this up in the way that she did? Because there was this weird game of telephone between her and Ashley and Robin before it eventually made its way to you. And I feel like you should have been the first person to be approached about this.
I just think it was just her being messy. That's it. That's all. And if she would have owned up to it, it would have been like, okay, but let's not cower under the guise and say, oh, I'm concerned, when everything you've done subsequently after that, like we have seen the subsequent actions, it wasn't really a concern. It was just to be messy. And we even see like, it's just so much. It's just so much, but it's fine. It's okay. I'm over it. Let's move on.
Totally. How do you think your marriage has or has not been impacted by reality TV and the side effects of fame in general? Because I think there's always this trope, like couples who put themselves on reality TV, there's a curse that, they don't last. It could result in the demise of a marriage. I don't believe that's the case with you and Eddie. So how do you make sure that all this, all the noise, all the attention doesn't affect what's going on at home when the cameras are gone?
I don't know if this is the reason, but one thing that has held true to Eddie and I is the fact that we are really like friends. Above all, like, yes, we're husband and wife, but we're friends. Like, we talk like friends, we hang out like friends, we party like friends. Like, we are just each other's friends. So we have that as a foundation. And so when your friendship unit is really strong and you genuinely care for someone, I think everything else, you do it as a team. It's funny because one of the most romantic things Eddie said to me is he said, I like you. And I was like, okay, thanks. And he was like, no, I love you. I respect you. But above all, like, I like you. I like being around you. And that means something. Like, I like him too. Like, I hang out with him all the time. Like, we just watch football and kick the shits. Like, that's my friend. And so all of this newness, it has been something that hasn't really impacted us. We talk about it, we laugh about it. When things do bother me, things don't bother him. He's a good one. When things do bother me, he'll talk me through it and say, well, have you looked at it like this? He's very level-headed, and he is the opposite of me, and we counter each other. So we are able to keep each other calm whenever things happen. But it's all worked out really well. And something you mentioned that's actually a great point is the history of the family. When in most married relationships, the biggest fight they get into is when they get married and is somewhere down the line. For Eddie and I, the biggest drama we faced was fighting to marry each other. Till today, 10 years later, that drama with his family is still the biggest drama in our household. And I think that when you make the conscious decision to say, I'm going to marry you, even with all of this, it sets the tone for the marriage. It's like, if we made it through that, we're fine. So all of this is child's play, honey.
Let's talk about messy Giselle again. Do you think that she brought up the cheating rumors to deflect from her own relationship with Jamal? Because after Monique brought her book of receipts to the reunion last year, we don't really talk about it the way I feel like we should be talking about it. Do you think that was a way for her to take attention off of, what happened there?
Well, I'll answer it this way. The fact that we're talking about those rumors as opposed to the book of receipts, the proof is in the pudding. Very well played. Very well played.